Hi, I'm Bruce Johnson. Today I'm going to show you how to transform an ordinary wood table into a chess table you and your family will enjoy. I'm starting with an unfinished wood table, which you can find at an unfinished furniture store or as an unassembled kit online. If you already have a table you'd like to use, you just need to remove the old finish first. Wherever you find your table, you'll be able to turn it into something special with wood finishing products from Minwax. Here are the stains and finishes I'm going to be using today. Pre-stained wood conditioner, wood finish stain, gel stain, and fast drying polyurethane. The first step is to prepare the wood to absorb the stain. I started by sanding the table down with 150 grit sandpaper, then finished with number 220 grit. Remember, always sand in the direction of the grain of the wood so you don't leave any scratches. Then be sure to wipe off all the dust. I measured out the chessboard squares, that's 8 rows of 8 squares each, then used a pencil to lightly outline each one. Now the table I'm working with has a 30-inch by 30-inch top, so I've chosen to make each square 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. That leaves a 5-inch perimeter around the board where your chess pieces can sit after they've been captured. Now your table might be a different size, so do the math based on what you're working with. I used a metal straight edge to draw my lines, and I'll use it to score them as well. I'm carefully scoring each pencil line using a hobby knife. This will help keep the 2 stain colors used on the chess squares from bleeding together. And when we're done, these squares will look like actual wood inlays. I've already applied my Minwax pre-stain wood conditioner, which helps the wood absorb stain evenly and will prevent it from turning blotchy. And now that the wood conditioner is dry, it's time to stain. First, I'm going to stain the entire table. Then I'll go back and show you how to fill in the dark squares. I'll start by using Minwax Wood Finish in Cherry. You always want to stir the can thoroughly, mixing in any of the pigments that may have settled to the bottom. Then dip your brush an inch into the can and work the stain into the wood. After applying the stain, let it sit for 5 to 15 minutes. Remember, the longer you leave it on, the darker the color is going to be. Take a rag and wipe off any stain the wood didn't absorb, always going in the direction of the grain. After you've wiped off all the stain, let it dry 4 to 6 hours. At that point, if you want an even darker color, you can repeat these same steps with a second coat. You want to make sure that you have straight, clean edges between the dark and light squares. Here are a few tips and techniques that will help. You can see that I've used painter's tape to isolate the chessboard squares that I'll be staining a darker color. It's important to press down firmly on the edges of the tape. Next, I've selected Minwax Gel Stain in black. Since it's a heavier bodied stain, it's less likely to seep underneath the tape. Also, I'm using a foam brush to gently dab on the stain. Now, be careful not to push the stain under the tape, and make sure to dab it, not brush it. Then, wait up to 3 minutes and remove the excess by dabbing the stain with another clean foam brush. Now that the squares are done, I'm going to remove the tape and let them dry overnight. Now my chessboard is done, but the table still isn't quite game ready. The final thing I need to do is apply a clear protective finish. And for this, I'm using Minwax fast drying polyurethane in a semi-gloss sheen. Again, be sure to stir the can, but be careful not to shake it. You don't want to get bubbles in your finish. Brush on a smooth coat of the polyurethane, always going in the direction of the grain of the wood. For best results, use long, even strokes. I'll let it dry for about 3 to 4 hours, then I'll give it a light sanding and apply a second coat. After it dries overnight, I'll attach the legs. And here it is. This simple table has now been transformed into a beautiful chess table. This project is just one of many interesting ways you can reinvent wood furniture with just a little imagination and Minwax. Be sure to check out more project ideas and how-to videos at minwax.com/madewithlove.